Okay, so today I'm going to make some railroad spike meat turners. I've done a couple there already. This is the second lot I've made because the first lot sold really quickly, so I thought I'd better make some more. It's not something you get in this country, the genuine US railroad spikes, but I've got a little batch. This one's been used. I've got some unused ones, but this is a used one. HC on it. I don't know if that means high carbon. Some people say it does, some people don't. I don't care. I'm not going to get into the debate. Right, so I'm going to use 2 hammers, 3 pairs of tongs. These to hold the pointy end, these to hold the head end. I'll put a link in the description of these because I made them. And some flat ones with I don't know if you better see it. They've got a groove in, which will hold the rounded end nicely. So let's get it in the fire and get it under the hammer. This camera shows the fire much better than my old camera, so let's hope it works as well for you. Right, so the dies I'm going to use today on the power hammer, homemade. They're just flat on one side and a very shallow sort of half circle on the other side. No, what do you call it? It's not half circle, is it? Radius, you know. It's rounded. So top and bottom. You can see how we get on with them. I'm slowly getting the hang of this hammer. Takes a bit of getting used to, but practice makes perfect, as they say. And I'm getting better and better results with it every time I use it. So I'm really chuffed. So first of all, I'm just going to reduce about 2.5 inches on the top end. I'm going really gently here because I'm not holding on to it very well. These tongs aren't ideal for this. But you get the idea. I'm just taking it down from, I suppose it's just under 3/4 to just under 5/8, something like that. It just gives that tiny little bit extra. It sort of stretches it by, I don't know, 1/4 inch or something. It's just enough. I think that'll do. You can see it's just slightly tapered down. Now we can give it some beans on the other end. Again, I'm not hitting it with the full force of this hammer. It will go a lot more, but if I did, it would put too much of a dent in it, and I want to try and gradually draw this out quite evenly. You can see how much it's coming out already. So the more you use this, the more you get the idea of what it can do and how to do it, as much as anything. These sort of rounded dies really draw it out nice and quickly. And I've since discovered, since I made this video, that if you flatten it with the square one quite regularly, you can then turn it into round quite easily with that square one. I didn't do it on this one because this is, well, as I say, I haven't done a lot of practice with it. I basically did all the drawing out with this one and then rounded it off by hand, but I've since discovered you can do it on the hammer, which saves an awful lot of effort. Now, this is me just taking the corners off. So if you do it on the square like this, it turns it into round quite easily. It's all a learning curve. As I say, I haven't used it much, but I'm pretty chuffed with the results. You'd think how long that would have taken me trying to do that with a hand hammer, and that was one heat. Again, just going real gentle. Try and keep it nice and even draw through. I can't get over it, how labour saving it is. Wish I'd had one years ago. And it is so controllable as well. Right, there we go. See how these tongs hold this head nicely. I'm not even holding them and it's got it. It's they're a real good set of tongs. Glad I made them. Right, so now I'm going to just try and round it up. Now here I'm just blending in the transition between the square and the round using the rounded end of the hammer. You see, all this I've since discovered can be done on the power hammer quite easily. It takes a lot of effort out of it. But hey ho, you live and learn. But if you haven't got a power hammer, this is how you have to do it. So it's not too out of the way of showing you how to do it. I could have put it in my gas forge, I think, and heated it all up in one go, but I couldn't be asked to get the gas burner out. Well, it's only a case of hitching the bottle up to it, but for a couple of these I couldn't be bothered. So I was just using the good old coke forge. Now I'm just trying to draw it out a bit square still, because I want to taper that end. I haven't really tapered it enough on the power hammer. So I'm just squaring it up. They're getting a bit hot. Let's do a little bit more. Just round off that last little tapered bit now. This is where you're making the point. Still haven't quite got it sharp enough. Just that last little bit now. Just about there, I think. What I'm going to do next is just give it a quick rasp over, just over the whole length of it. Hot, obviously. Just get an old rasp. Just takes all the nasties off. Doesn't get rid of everything. I guess if you did it enough it would, but then it looks a little bit fake. But this just takes the real worst dings out of it and the sharp edges and the hammer blows that you don't really want to see. Obviously it could spend more time with a hammer, but I often just do this. You can't really see there, but it's just taken the worst off. So now I'm just going to curl up the end, just like doing any other scroll. Get it to just how you want it, and then depending on whether it's left or right handed, depending on which way you point the hook when you bend it. That's a right handed one, so I had the hook pointing to the left. If you want a left handed one, you have the hook pointing the other way. About it, I reckon. I think that'll probably do the job. Just going to tidy that up now. This is where the other pair of tongs come in. They slip nicely on that end. So again, I'm just going to tidy up that transition between the round and the square using the rounded end of my hammer and the round of the beak. It just tidies that up a little bit. Make sure it's square and then take the corners off. Just somehow looks nicer when it's had the corners taken off, I don't know why. And that's about it, I think. Ready for a twist. Oh, so I'm just holding it literally just below the square and above the sort of transition of the round. I must get around to making myself a proper twisting tool. I'm not quite sure how I'd do it because I want to hold it on the head rather than below the head, because otherwise you sort of miss out on that bit of a twist. But for now, these will do. Let's get it round to sort of square. About it. I want to bend him round. I wouldn't do it there. So I'm just going to square the head up. It's got a little lean on it slightly. You see there, it's leaning off to the right or off to the left. So I'm just going to try and lean it back off to the right, square it up into the centre line, basically. There's me waffling. Doesn't need a lot. Just try and get it all square and tidy. Trying to do that all without damaging the thread. That's the twist. That's the trouble. You start whacking that about, you get some horrible nasty flats on it. There you go. That's just about it. Ready for me touch mark. Although it doesn't work very well on this because it's slightly tapered, but it's just about it. See it. That'll do for me. No one probably cares who it's made by anyway. Let's see what difference a quick wire brush up makes. Gets rid of all that nasty scale. Cleans it up, ready for a wax or an oil. Not sure what I'll put on these. This electric wire brush also puts a nice sort of, you can see the difference between the done and non-done. Puts a nice little sort of, what's the word, almost a chamfer on all the sharp corners. It just softens the edges, that's the word, softens. And so when you pick it up, there's nothing sharp, nothing jagged, nothing sticking in you. It all feels quite soft considering it's a lump of iron. And there we go. Just about ready for the Etsy shop and for the summer barbecues. Thanks for watching. With any luck, we'll catch you on the next one.